Welcome to today's podcast, After Reparations, What Comes Next? Podcast number 4. If you haven't already, please review series 1 through 3, as this is the 4th installment of a 5-part series. We left off from those who decided to accept the land grants and move into the abandoned towns and cities throughout America. This morning, the new townsmen and women gathered in the Central Hall, located in the newly acquired township. As we took our seats in the town hall center room, the prominent question as we began that morning was, how do we begin to trust one another, between each other, to solve the problems of sustainability of our newfound circumstances? Here we are, faced with the raw materials to turn our reparations into real generational wealth, or squander it. We needed to maintain resources of the land, sea, and air, as well as developing new products and services within our community. The first concern, then, was our internal market, and the distant second is the external market. How do we maintain and grow our reparations into a 1,000-year wealth conduit? To some, most in the town hall, myself included, this first call to arms was daunting, especially with the near non-existent business relationships we as a people did not have with each other. Out of our long sojourn of oppression and deprivation, the core issue of trust and the value of people we needed to address quickly. This podcast starts with our internal market of current products. The township we needed, such as food or grocery stores, energy or utilities, water, and that includes drinking and sewage, transportation, roads, highways, the infrastructure of the towns and how to maintain them, etc. For the DOS Township peoples, the deeper issue it was agreed to solve was our inability to engage each other in a professional way. Too embedded was the idea of shady treatment in business matters and the devaluing of our products and services. In other words, while we were willing to pay whites, Latinos, and Asians $100 for crappy service and products, we were unwilling or begrudgingly willing to pay even as small as $20 for the same product, and even less than professional treatment to our customers, or our customers would give us less than professional respect for our business places and spaces. Unfortunately, we internalized, as with every other race, that as descendants of American slaves, we weren't expected to accept anything more. This had to end. The road to right-minded, upstanding relationships were our primary concern, and luckily for us, our Black forefathers and foremothers left us a roadmap to change and cure this detestable mindset. The townships would start with Mr. Neely Fuller's compensatory codes and Dr. Amos Wilson's blueprint for Black Power. The community participants decided to form a council custodial symposium. And using Dr. Amos Wilson's template, we quickly formed the makeup of the constituency apparatus. The apparatus can be found within Dr. Amos Wilson's book, Blueprint for Black Power, on page 50. The first part of the apparatus will be the president of the council. And it is suggested by this podcaster that there will be 3 individuals. Underneath the president of the council is the National Council of Presidents of Major Black Organizations and Institutions, which again the podcaster suggests that it's 12 people that make up that constituency. Under that, the National Executive Officer of Economic Development, Education, External Relations, etc., which should consist of 21 people. Following that, the state regional councils of presidents of major Black organizations and institutions. And a good helping of 48 people would suffice for that apparatus. The next is the local council of major Black organizations and institutions, which could make up 56 people. And finally, the community of individuals, groups, organizations, and institutions, which should have about 300 participants that can service the township or townships. The custodians were tasked with establishing broad-based retail services, forming sole or partnerships, business entities, and or groups who would work together in filling the surrounding empty stores and buildings up with new ones, or building up new ones. All towns or community people were required to participate in weekly small groups to deal with the lingering effects of oppression by using the 7 ways to heal from the effects of racism's programs. These groups typically ran for 1 to 1.5 hours. The council also quickly instituted a program of See One, Do One, Teach One in relations for our community to share our skills and expertise that we acquired prior to the reparations package and acquiring our own cities. The See One, Do One, Teach One is an old proverb that was widely used in healthcare. It was understood in the community that such an approach would quickly diffuse of necessary skills to a wide range of people in a short time frame, so that the works of restoration of our peoples could begin immediately. The next thing the council had on their agenda was to create an internal currency that would be used within that DOAS ranks, and to stabilize this currency with new products and new developments, which will remain within this internal market for several years prior to its diffusion into national and international markets. With this beginning and the measures implemented, it became very clear, as noted by the late Dr. Amos Wilson, ultimately such maneuvers internal will sustain the new community and prepare it for national and international markets. These plans and organizations were central to the new reparations recipients to not only check and cash the reparative payments, but to also watch them grow into real sustainable wealth for the future and beyond. Please join me for the last and final podcast to this series. After Reparations, What Comes Next, podcast number 5. And also subscribe, hit the subscriber button, because there will be new upcoming podcasts surrounding this paradigm. If you like the video, please hit the like button and remember to share. As always, thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Goodbye.